And the first step truly is to get to know yourself quite deeply, right? Understanding what are your values and what is important to you, what drives you, what is your mission, what kind of impact you aim to create, what's your contribution.
Hello everyone and welcome to Chroniques d'Experts, a podcast produced by Open Media for Forbes.fr. Today I'm joined by Sophie Vurpillot, founder and CEO of Kaelon, a company that helps leaders navigate uncertainty and reinvent themselves. What a program. Welcome, Sophie. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. It's very nice to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy about that. And first of all, I would like to know, what's Kaelon exactly?
So Kaelon is a company that offers executive coaching and leadership training.
Okay.
And our mission is actually to, you said it very well, accompany leaders through change and uncertainty while maintaining their personal balance.
And why this name?
Okay, Kaelon, actually, a very interesting question. It's a sophisticated name. So Kaelon has both origins, one Greek and one Latin. The Latin one refers to the sky with the stars, and we aim to build this universe, a constellation, connect leaders together. And the second one is from the Greek, and it means beauty that is deeper than, the skin.
Oh, inside beauty.
Exactly.
Wow, what a beautiful name. Congratulations. That's not that easy. I would like to know what makes Kaelon and you unique in the market.
I like to think that we're unique, and I believe it's actually the conjunction of three factors. The first one is that our team is truly multidisciplinary. So we have corporate leaders and entrepreneurs that come from consulting and finance. We also have elite athletes. One of them is actually a European martial artist. He's a European champion in Muay Thai. We have artists, especially our storytelling coach is actually, like you, a professional movie maker. We also have a psychologist, an army officer, who is also a diplomat and specializes in nonverbal communication and strategies.
But how...
And so that was
I mean, what is the idea coming from? What happened? And, to build a team like that... Mm-hmm. It's unusual.
Yeah, I like to believe I'm a connector, actually. So it's 20 years in the making. Some people I've met 20 years ago. Some people I've studied with. Some people I've met along the way through other people. And that's, I think, the magic, of Kaelon. So really beyond this multidisciplinary, team, it's also very international. We train and coach in 4 languages. And I think that's also something quite special in our industry. And so there were 2 other pillars. And the third one is the intention of creating immersive experiences, with our clients that are tailor-made, but also where we invite them to involve both their mind and their bodies and really experience change.
Like what? I want to know. Like, you have an example?
So it goes, from moving light movements to actual boxing. We also we're expert in playfulness and serious play. So there's also a lot of things that we do with icebreakers and gamification to create some kind of environments where people are free to explore and create, psychological safety and trust so they can dare to go a bit beyond, right?
So there's a lot of psychology, philosophy, a lot of deep connections.
Yes,
I imagine.
A lot of things happen in the session.
And I know you're always creating new things, and you just came up with a masterclass and online courses. I would like to know more about that.
Yeah, that's the new baby. I'm excited about it. We're actually making it right now. We're making a digital course on personal branding. We believe for many reasons that this topic is a very hot topic right now that can really help a lot of people. And so we're creating our first online course. So it's around 5 hours. It also has masterclasses, and for people who are interested in it, also some one-to-one coaching to really help them assess and improve, on their own way, basically.
So we can go online and then find it and watch it. And
stay tuned, actually, because it's going to be released soon. So stay tuned with our social media. And
thank you so much for telling us that. We're the first to know, okay? So before Kaelon, that's so interesting. You had a huge career. You made so many things, an international career. And what happened? When did you decide to become an entrepreneur like that?
Sometimes the question for me is why so international and why going to so many places? But everything makes sense finally at the end. So basically, I had been working in consulting and finance in France, in New York City, and working alongside very bright people, and it was stimulating. And yet I felt that, I was still looking for the kind of impact I wanted to create in the world. That was my quest. So it was a bit of a meaning quest or even a meaning crisis that took me to Latin America at the time. So I thought I wanted to explore a bit more, explore a new territory, learn a new language. Spanish was a new language for me at the time, but also discover what I wanted to create. I think I have that creation bug like you in me. I love to create things and
I can see that.
I think we have that in common,
yes.
Right? But that's really what took me to entrepreneurship. I did not realize at the time I would love it so much.
And I would like to know what qualities are essential to be a good leader today. Mm-hmm. I can imagine some, but in your opinion, you're used to. So.
And what a great question, and what a moving answer, what an evolving answer, right? I personally believe that since COVID, the change, the pace of the change is more rapid every time. So there is a lot of instability, political, economic, and there's also obviously tech disruptions with AI, with quantum computing that is also coming up, right? So it does require leaders to develop new qualities, and I believe they're threefold. The first one being resilience. Right, so resilience, the ability to bounce back if something doesn't work out, explore different options with agility, manage stress, because of course with all those changes comes a lot of stress, right? The second one is actually really related to a new study that was released by Gallup earlier this year on the state of the workplace, and they found out that employee engagement, is at a historic low. It's from 24% last year, it is down to 21%.
Why that,
So that's the question, right? Why that? And
maybe after COVID? No?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of things that come already from that period. Mm-hmm. And of course, one of the main reasons is actually the quality of leadership, right? If people don't trust their leaders, if they don't admire their leaders, they don't see role models in them, that affects their engagement. People don't feel seen and valued at work. That's another one. They don't feel inspired. They don't find meaning in what they do. Those are other root causes that were found. So the second quality that a leader really needs to have, in my view, is charisma and impactful communication, right? The ability to inspire, energize people around you. And that one is a hard nut to crack, because I believe that many people believe that you have charisma or you don't, right? It's like something, a quality that you would be born with or not. The good news is that it's a quality that you can acquire. Right?
Oh, yes. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, good to know. And the third one, I would say, is becoming a supportive and caring leadership style. And the good news also on that front is that empathy is a quality that can be developed, right? And that it's very tied to the other two pillars that we saw, right? Because when we're stressed and we're in our head, we have a hard time being present and we have a hard time listening. Active listening is also a skill that can be acquired, right? And I also believe that with the arrival of the new generations, they are quite different and they have quite different expectations. We have to acknowledge that. We also need to be very open-minded as leaders to be able to accommodate their needs and hopes, right? So a lot of skills also around that, how to become a caring leader.
become a better person, actually.
I agree with you.
So you talked about communication. I feel it's so hard to communicate the right way. There's so many people around there. How can you stand up? How can you be different?
Says a professional communicator, right?
Yeah.
We both agree. Communication is so hard. There's just so many dimensions to it. How can we stand out, right? Yes, with AI, so many voices, so many artificial voices. How can we stand out? So that's what we're trying to really find out right now, and personally believe that what is needed right now is authentic voices. That also means sometimes vulnerable voices, now embracing who we are with our success, with our failures, in our imperfection. That is, what allows us to develop our true voice. But another enabler is actually to know ourselves deeply, and that is not easy. There was a study by a woman called Tasha Eurich. She actually worked on it for decades. She worked on self-awareness. She studied for decades, and she found out that, interestingly, the higher up you go on the corporate ladder, the least self-aware you are.
Wow.
And she found out that
that's scary.
Very extremely so. And she found out that it's related to the fact that people don't dare to give you feedback, right? And as a whole, she found out that although many people will claim that they're self-aware, if we go to the street and ask people, right, the reality is that only 10 to 15% of people are. So there's a lot of work on that front.
Okay. I'm like,
I feel like you've already done some.
Yeah, of course. But it takes a life.
It takes a lifetime.
A lifetime, to work on yourself and to learn every day. So
and we're a moving target, right? So
exactly.
We evolve. Yeah.
And when you're so on your work, you can't think about yourself.
Exactly.
And improve. So you're absolutely right. And I agree, of course. Sophie, I was thinking, how can personal branding be really efficient? I don't understand that really. Could you help me?
So I think being efficient in the process is tough because it's a real process. But then, of course, the impact is extremely important. It gives you visibility, generates opportunities for yourself, people coming your way. That's something that I value personally very much. Not like, I'm not really a person who is fond of cold contacting people. And third benefit, actually, it helps you develop your self-confidence, right? Now, going back, it's a process. And the first step truly is to get to know yourself quite deeply, right? Understanding what are your values and what is important to you, what drives you, what is your mission, what kind of impact you aim to create, what's your contribution, but also what shaped the person that you are today, right? Those moments. And that turns into understanding better, who is your audience and then how do you serve it, right? What is your unique value proposition, to be a bit more markety? Once we have that, then interesting finding your voice, your messaging, the tone, and working on your storytelling, the stories that are going to back up this beautiful, unique voice. And once we have that, of course, we also have to work on how to embody, right, that message. So working on your body language, your voice, and how you're going to present yourself to the world in general so that your brand is truly authentic, also consistent, very important, and impactful.
I really agree. If you're not authentic, it doesn't work.
Exactly.
It's like kids, Kids know when you're lying or you're... And you help people to know themselves, right? Yeah,
I like to think that. But you're very good at spotting an authenticity and incongruency in others. We'll see this person, there's something off. Sometimes we have a hard time identifying what, but we're very good at identifying that something is not aligned.
And sometimes people think they're like this, and actually, they're like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree. That's why you make a great point, actually, that, there's the way we perceive ourselves and what we know about ourselves, but we should always compare with what other people perceive about ourselves. And when there's gaps where there might be blind spots or maybe things to correct in how we present ourselves.
I would like to know something. If you had one piece of advice for someone hesitating to start their own company, being a leader, what could you say?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who just sold her business, successful business. And she told me, sometimes it feels so lonely. And that's also been my journey. That's the journey of the people that I accompany. And so I would advise that, it's important to surround yourself. The people you have at home, your friends, communities are wonderful as well. And then to really open up and ask for help when we need, because sometimes I feel like being entrepreneurs, we're so independent and we're trying to blaze new trails and, create something new. And we forget that it's important to surround ourselves, really.
Yeah, and maybe hire the right people also. That's
hiring the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So hard. And also because usually we start being entrepreneurs, we have no idea about recruiting, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of the skills that we need to acquire, absolutely. And this is where we've all burned a lot of money and resources, because of our lack of experience in the topic.
Okay, do you want to say one last thing?
It was wonderful, actually, to be here. I'm very, very happy to have had this opportunity to exchange with you. And I love the way you create so many things and you're so curious. I think curiosity is something that we share.
Yes, also.
Yes. And that, I look forward to actually staying in touch. And
I look for you to teach me a lot of things.
The same I say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Sophie.
much, Karine.
It was a pleasure having an inspired person like you.
Thank you. The same I say, and thanks for such a pleasurable conversation.
So, of course, I hope this podcast inspired you to create, to do something. Just go for it. And you can find this podcast on YouTube, on Forbes.fr, of course, and all podcast platforms. So please subscribe, leave a message. I will be more than happy to hear from you. See you soon on Chroniques d'Experts.